Hey everybody, in this video we will show you how you could retrieve JSON data from web service and access to specific object in that JSON data. So my example for this video will be I will use Google Weather API to retrieve weather information for different cities. The application will be very simple. It has simple UI. Someone will enter the city name and click get, he will get the sunshine time for that city. So it's really easy. So how I could use Google API to give me this information? First of all, if you go to Google Weather API, you see this is some query. I don't know what this means, but in the end, if you see here, if I enter the city name, if I say, okay, Rochester, I need Rochester. If I click in test, he will load the data for Rochester weather. It is too many information. So what I'm really interested in is this URL for Rochester. So just let me copy this URL and go to my application. So my application is really simple, as I told you. It have one text view or edit text. It name it ET city and BU name it BU get. So when someone click to this button, this event will be fired. And now here I have edit text and I have access to edit text. So first of all, I need to define my URL I want to go to. I will say, okay, define URL will be this URL. I just copy it now. If I click Control F or Command F, I look for Rochester to make sure where is the word Rochester in this string. Here is it. I want just replace this word by another word that user entered. I will say, okay, edit text dot get text to string. Why? Because I need the user will enter the city name from here, and here will be the here I will make combine between this name and the URL for Google Weather to give me the specific URL for the enter city. Here you go. My application want to access to internet. So first of all, I have to go here and add user permission for access to internet because I need to access to services. Next, I now want to do another operation. I want to get some data or some JSON data from remote HTTP server. So I need to do something in background. There is many ways, but it is better to use asynchronous task. So if you go here and look for something, name it to our file in GitHub, look for asynchronous task and copy the line from number 12 and go down to the end. To the line 86, just copy all the file, all the lines and paste it here down. Now you see I have two methods. One of them name it, or one class added in you never see about or you never know about it, name it asynchronous task. Asynchronous task is same as a thread, something working in background, but it's organized in more professional way. So it's class, you extend it. This is the class, you just extend this class. And this class already have this four methods. One of them named on pre-execute will be execute before you do your operation. Do in background, this method will be executed in background. So if you need anything doing in background like fetching HTTP data, write it here. But here you cannot access to UI because something in background. So don't try to access to UI from doing background. Then on a progress update, this means when the progress update, for example, you get data from the server, you want to show it in UI. So here you could access to UI from this method. Also, for example, you loading file of the server, so you load it by part. So every part you will send the data to this one, and this one will be read. On post execute will be executed when the background operation done and everything done. So this method will be executed. That's great. So now I want to run this asynchronous task. All what I have to do, just I will go here. I will say new instance from the class. Then I open a bracket, close it, I say execute, I enter the URL. Here you go. This URL will be sent to this asynchronous task. Asynchronous task have this parameter, don't care about it, but I will not write any code in post execute. If you have in some time code, write it, but in this example I don't use it. So doing background, this is what part I'm interested in. If you see, I'm receiving parameters, not one parameter, number of parameter, but here I send only one. Maybe you could send 2 or 3 or 4, whatever you would like. I just sending one. So now to access to this parameter, first parameter I will say parameter for 0 or array for index 0. So to Arexo index 0 will be have the URL for the website. So first I will say, okay, create a new URL for the website. So okay, I just create a new URL. Then I will just minimize this one. Then I will do connection, HTTP connection for that URL to open the connection. Then I set the timeout. I say, okay, the timeout will be 5 seconds. If I did not, 7 seconds. If I did not get response from server, please terminate this connection. So I don't want to wait for a long time. Then, okay, I did connection. If I get a response, I will be here. I will get result as stream. So get this input stream and from the URL connection and add in the stream. So now I have stream. I need to change the stream to string. I will call this method convert stream to string. If I click Control or Command and Enter, I will go to this method I added now. It take input as stream, then it do a stream reader to read the input stream, then it convert it to the string. So it read it line by line and convert the stream. What this method do is very basic, just taking stream, change it to the string, and return it back to us. So you will never touch this method when you work with any different type of application. Also, all the in background operation, you will not touch any code from this one. You will never do anything with it. So by the end, when you get the data, you pass the data to the progress, and the data will be in the, when I say progress, publish a progress, that means I'm passing data to progress update. So progress update will receive the data and do the operation with it. So what I have to do with this data, you could do anything. For example, I will not do here anything with this one. I just taking this data and I display it to the in front of the user. I just taking or progress 0. Why progress 0? Because I'm sending one parameter, so progress 0 will be first parameter. As I told you, whenever you work with this class, just copy this one and don't change anything. This class, you will never change anything in it. Just you will change with this method on a progress update, because here you will get a data from the server as string, so you could do with it whatever you want to read it, however you want to read it. But in different application, you will never change any from other files, any in background synchronize. Only you will change the URL that you will send it to synchronous task. So here, okay, I'm getting the data as string. I will display. So if I run, he will bring entire data. If I give any city, he will give me entire data. So let me just enter Rochester this way. Here you go. He give me all the data as a query. There's many data here. I want to the specific tag. Okay. If I go here to my weather, this is a basic example to show you how you could read from Web API. If you see, I cannot understand there is many data, so just let me copy all this data, take it, open Sublime or any editor you would like, just format this data. I say, okay, file.json. You don't have to care about that. I just will add in download. Just give it extension .json so you could read it. Okay, now the code will be formatted. If you see, there is where is the sunshine? The sunshine will be sunrise. Here is it. But it is inside number of object. Inside the query, then inside the query there is result, then inside the result there is object. I think name it channel. If you see, read the tag and you will understand. And inside the channel there is this tag, and inside this one there is sunrise. So I need to go through number of object. So it is easy. I just have this data as a string. So I want first to change it to the object. So I say, okay, JSON object will be my JSON equal a new JSON object. I will give it the string. Now in this line, I'm taking the string data and I change it to the JSON. Now I could work with this JSON data. If you see, I have number my Sublime to be in right direction. First, I need to access to query. So here you go. I will go here. I will define JSON object, name it a query. Please search in JSON for JSON object, name it a query. Okay. I got into query. Now next, what I have to look inside the query? I have to look for results. Okay, I will go here. I will say, okay, define object, name it result. Look inside the query for get object, get JSON object, name it result. Here you go. Next, so I'm now inside object, name it result. Next, inside result there is a channel. So okay, I will say, okay, inside JSON object, name it channel. It's available inside it is inside the result. Okay, get object, give it this result. Now I'm inside the channel. Here we go. Next, inside the channel there is something. So if I go down looking for what I have in channel, I have astronomy, I think. So if I go down, yes, here is it, astronomy, this y, my. So yeah, this tag I have it. So I go back, okay, define a new JSON object, name it astronomy, it be inside the channel, then get JSON object, then I give it my object. Next, I have now this JSON object will talk about this part. So now I'm in this part, that's okay, I could get this one directly without anything. So you have sunrise and sunset. Whatever you want to display, you could display. Let me display sunset first. Okay, I will go here. I will say, okay, I need string, not this way. I will say I need string. I define string name is sunset. Will be inside astronomy dot get string name it sunset. Here you go. I have sunset here. Also, I want to get the object for example, I want to sunrise also, not only sunset. Here you go. I will define string for sunset. Also inside astronomies dot get string this sunset. Now I have two objects for sunset and sunrise. So okay, I will say sunset will be this time, and I will add sunrise will be this time. Now okay, I have sunrise and sunset. If you rerun it again, you see how good to access to it. So just in the example, I want to show you how you could get access to HTTP, and you could get that if I click, you say okay, sunset 7:12 and sunrise this time. If I enter any other city, let me write in New York. I hope in New York will be correct name. So yes, is not available. It's not written this way. I don't know how is it written. Yes, here is it written. So the sunshine in the New York and sunrise for New York. You could write any city name, any city you would like. Just write it down and you will get the information. So how does it work? It's just sending HTTP request to the web API, and the web API give us a JSON result. Then we read the tags from JSON result. Here we're done, and thank you for watching.